Hey everyone, Cosmic Mango here, your favorite mango from outer space. Hope you're all having a fantastic day. It's Halloween weekend. Ooh. Whether you're out there dressing up for parties, trick-and-treating, or just chilling at home, hope you've all had a great weekend. Halloween is a very unique time of the year. I love it, and all its spookiness. So I thought it would be fun to look back at all of Magic the Gathering's spookiest Halloween cards and pick some of my favorites with you today. So without further ado, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Number 1. Jacko Lantern. An artifact spell that costs 1 colorless mana to cast. It says the following. For 1 generic mana and tap, sacrifice Jacko Lantern. Exile up to 1 target card from a graveyard, draw a card. For 1 generic mana, exile Jacko Lantern from your graveyard, add 1 mana of any color. There's a huge carved pumpkin on the picture of this card. If that doesn't scream Halloween, what does? Jacko Lantern actually isn't even that bad of a card either. We get to exile opponents' annoying creatures from their graveyard, well, 1 creature, which is great for us against any graveyard recursion decks. We also get to utilize Jacko Lantern from our graveyard to give us any color mana for 1 generic mana in return. Okay, this card isn't going to see much play and it's not going to cause amazing plays in Commander format, but it's not too bad. It could probably do something in a budget deck. Number 2, Reaper King. A legendary artifact scarecrow creature that costs 1 of each color to cast, or you can pay 2 generic mana per color instead. So if you're missing the color from your mana pool, this is a pretty nice effect. Reaper King has 6 power and 6 toughness and says the following. Other scarecrow creatures you control get +1/+1. Whenever another scarecrow enters the battlefield under your control, destroy target permanent. If you're looking for a commander to play during the spooky season of Halloween, then Reaper King is the scarecrow for you. I love the card art on this card. I also love his abilities. I think they synergize really well. And even though we don't have many scarecrows in the format to choose from, we have loads of changelings that can fit into this deck and do some excellent work. The Reaper King stands tall. As a Tybal commander, scarecrows originally meant to scare birds away from crops can instead be used in Magic to scare your opponents from casting permanents. Number 3, Season of the Witch. An enchantment spell that costs 3 black mana to cast, and it says the following. At the end of each player's turn, all of his or her untapped creatures that could have attacked but did not are destroyed. If you do not pay 2 life during your upkeep, Season of the Witch is destroyed. Effects that prevent or redirect damage may not be used to counter this loss of life. Season of the Witch, the name fits very well into Halloween. You're always seeing witches in Halloween costumes, so why not run this card during the Halloween season to get the season bubbling like a hot cauldron. I absolutely love the card art here, it's beautiful. This is actually a very unique card as well, and I believe it's pretty powerful. It's going to change the whole dynamic of the game you're playing when it's out, making everyone think twice during combat steps. Do they attack or not? I think everyone will be attacking anyway during combat when this is out, because if they don't attack, they lose the creature. Cards like this speed up games and offers a very interesting mechanic. Number 4, Taste of Death. A sorcery spell that costs 2 black and 4 generic mana to cast. It says the following. Each player sacrifices 3 creatures. You create 3 food tokens. They're artifacts with 2 generic and tap. Sacrifice this artifact, you gain 3 life. Okay, Taste of Death may not be the best card in Magic the Gathering, but it could do some work, I suppose. You can use this to get around creatures of hexproof, shrouds, even indestructible, as the opponent has to sacrifice the creature. Food tokens are pretty handy as well. It's a shame the card costs a hefty 6 mana to cast. If it cost around 4, I think this would be an incredibly powerful card. The Poison Apple in Snow White is certainly one influence of this card. Number 5, Bad Moon. An enchantment card that costs 1 black and 1 generic mana to cast. It says the following. Black creatures get +1/+1. Short and simple. This is actually a pretty cool enchantment as it buffs up all black creatures on the board. But beware, this static effect does not only buff up our black creatures, but also our opponents. Things can get interesting with this. But yeah, this card screams Halloween to me. The big full moons in the picture and the zombies walking towards the warrior. It's great. Number 6, Headless Rider. A zombie creature that costs 1 black and 2 generic mana to cast. It has 3 power and 1 toughness, and says the following. Whenever Headless Rider or another non-token zombie you control dies, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token. We've all heard the tale of the Headless Rider. The amount of cartoons I saw as a kid of the Headless Rider were a lot. Based upon the legend of the Sleepy Hollow, the Headless Rider is an iconic mythical being. Being a zombie makes this card somewhat viable and can probably see good play in any zombie type or deck. Number 7, the final card on my list, All Hallows Eve. A sorcery spell that costs 2 black and 2 generic mana to cast. It says the following. Exile All Hallows Eve with 2 scream counters on it. At the beginning of the upkeep, if All Hallows Eve is exiled with a scream counter on it, remove a scream counter from it. If there are no more scream counters on it, put it into your graveyard and each player returns all creature cards from their graveyard to the battlefield. What's better for Halloween than a card literally named All Hallows Eve? The card offers a very fun mechanic to play around, and in the right deck could possibly be winning the game. This card is actually on the reserve list and it's very pricey to buy. You're looking at around $440 today to buy a card like this. Well, to buy this card. Okie dokie, that is the end of my list. I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope you're all having a fantastic Halloween. If you did enjoy this video, would you kindly drop a like and subscribe to the channel? I'd love to know if you have any Halloween type cards you want to share. If you do, please share them in the comment section below. I love reading your comments and I try to answer back to as many of the comments that I can. Thanks for watching everyone. Have a fantastic Halloween. And as always, take care and goodbye.